Most people still think New World is dead, and honestly, 4 years ago, they had every reason to say that. Game-breaking bugs, worthless loot, and zero real content. It felt like half-baked mess nobody should have shipped. But if you think you know New World now, you'd be dead wrong. This game has completely transformed, loot finally matters, dungeons actually deliver, raids being meaningful, endgame PvE content that is worth your time. The world is alive, buzzing with action and possibilities. While everyone else is living in the past, you could be stepping into one of the best MMOs on the market right now, and I'm going to show you exactly why you should believe in second chances. Let's be honest, when New World launched, it was rough. I mean brutal, dude. It was bad. Within a few hours, the lack of polish was obvious, bugs everywhere, performance issues, loot that felt worthless, and the endgame, dude, it was a ghost town. Amazon's first real MMO, and it showed empty world, no direction, story, what is that? I remember after one night of doing chess runs, after I logged out, I questioned why I'm even still playing this game. The grind was pointless, you run chess runs for hours and get absolutely nothing, and there's no other endgame content whatsoever. That's what killed New World for so many, and including me. The dungeon's possibly the worst offender. At launch, there was only 2, and they felt like chores. You had to grind for hours just to craft a key, to unlock a dungeon that barely dropped anything useful, fake content, artificial grind. It felt like the devs padded every system just to cover for missing content, and it really showed. But fast forward to today, an entirely different game. If you can believe it, there is now 11 dungeons. We hit the jackpot, baby, each with their own unique bosses, environment that have very good mechanics, the fights that force you to think and adapt on the fly. And they did finally add a queuing system. You no longer have to stand around begging chat like you were in a cardboard box on the side of the street just to get into a single dungeon. And that's what hooked me the most. The dungeons and the endgame actually matters. There's real content. You can get artifacts, legendary gear you'll actually use at endgame. My favorite, Tempest, stunning visuals, haunting sounds, and when you finally fight Isabella, the last boss of the dungeon, it feels amazing since that's what the whole 1 to 65 story is leading up to. So it really closed that loop and you felt like you accomplished something great. And it really gave that MMO feeling. And they don't stop there. Mutated dungeons rotate weekly, changing mechanics and hazards, making the longevity of the dungeons way longer than they were before. You don't get tired after the first couple runs. You now get tired around maybe the 20th, which is where I personally want to start banging my head against the wall. But hey, that's a lot of content and that's a nice change. And raids, huge upgrade. At launch, New World had absolutely 0 raids. Now we get 3, yes, 3 proper raids. The Sandworm Rain, a brutal 20-man fight that will chew you up for days until your team finally cracks. When I first beat the Sandworm, it took multiple days, hours each day trying with the same group, and when you finally beat it, it's ecstasy like nothing else. I think the best design raid, however, is the Hive of Gorgon raid. This one has 3 different main game bosses, each having their own mechanics and a significant jump in difficulty. Not as hard as the Worm, but it's definitely still difficult. Something I absolutely loved about the game is that they added these artifacts. They are game changers, and there's about 50 in the game, each with their own unique perks that can definitely shape your build in its own unique playstyle. They give you insane power spikes, and when you grab one that you've been farming for a few hours, you really feel like you've accomplished something great, which is something I feel like a lot of MMOs are lacking nowadays, but New World definitely can scratch the itch there. If you are a bit more of a solo player, you have these solo trials. They're kind of like a one-man boss fight. Like if you want to jump into an Elden Ring or Dark Souls themed battle, these are great for you. Sadly, the rewards are kind of weak, but they said they're going to fix this later down the line, which I'm excited to hear. Now let's talk about one of the best things in the entire game, and one of the reasons why players keep coming back, and why the veterans who have played the game for multiple years, even though the game lacked content, they still stuck around. Combat. Combat is really fun, and honestly, it's what keeps me playing as well at this point. There's no tab targeting. Action combat rewards aim, timing, and positioning, whether that be in PvE or PvP. It really does feel like a Souls game and an MMO had a baby, that's New World Combat. Every fight feels alive, you get 6 abilities, 1 ultimate, and when you combine it with the 15 weapons you can choose from, you have absolute freedom over your build and how you want to play the game. Not only that, but you are not locked into a class, so you can try everything you want and you won't have to worry about wasting all your time respecing, which is a huge breath of fresh air. That's what I call freedom, baby. And they'll be adding in set bonuses in late October, which should completely explode build variety and weird PvP combos, and I'm very excited for that. It's probably what I'm most excited for at the end of this year. Now, how about the second best aspect of New World, the crafting system? Yet another huge win. It was good at launch, but now it's deep. You can literally gather everything. Trees, rock, animals, plants, you name it, you can hit it. And that makes the world feel absolutely alive. But most importantly, it's very useful in the mid to late game, as you can get some best in slot gear from this, which if you want to make some gold as well, you can definitely do that. You can also create your own tools, which have perks, so you can kind of customize a little bit of how you want to play it. But I bet you're wondering if people are still playing this game in the big 2025. Well, yes, there's about 9,000 concurrent players on Steam, and you add console into that, maybe about 15 active players. And when the major patch hits at the end of October, that could easily surpass 100,000 with the console players. So I think it's the perfect time to jump in if you want to get a bit of an early start, or if you want to wait for the huge patch at the end of October. I think that's another great time to log in. One thing I absolutely love about New World is playing the music and the voice chat in towns. The random interactions that you get there really makes the game feel alive, and it's rare. I don't really see this in other MMOs nowadays. Now, what about PvP? If you're a PvP Andy, you'll love this. Back when the game first released, there was absolutely zero content. Now, after 4 long years, we have 2 Outpost Rush maps. I remember back in the day, you would sit there playing the same OPR map for 1,000 hours, seeing all the little details because you were going insane because they have not added a new map until this year. Yes, 4 years later, we have a new map. It must be Christmas, dude. Santa Claus came early this year, and we're going to be getting another new map at the end of October. I cannot wait. That's going to be so fun. Also, you have 3v3s now, so if you want some small scale PvP action, you got it there. And you have these open world PvP races if you're looking for some open PvP content. It really does deliver now on all fronts, PvE and PvP. New World really did step up their games in these last 4 years. Even today, I still look fondly back at my old memories of running chest runs all day. I would log in, run chests, and log out, but now those runs still exist, but they actually have more valuable drops, which is huge. If you want to log in late night and run around and gather some good loot, such as golden scarabs or schematics that can only be found in these, while exploring the beautiful landscapes such as Brimstone, the Elysian Wilds, or even Evanscale, it really does add life to the world. So now if you gave up on New World early on or never tried it now, I would say is the best time. The bugs are gone, there is real content here, combat crisp. This isn't a dead MMO, it's a living, breathing world, and honestly, it's one of the best MMO experience I've had in years. If you guys are old veterans coming back, or if you have never tried the game, I would love to know your first time experience playing New World, whether that be in 2021 or 2024. Let me know down in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and peace.